Today we're doing the final formula for our trigonometry unit, and this is cosine law. Again, just so that we're clear, the only time we can use SOHCAHTOA is when we have a right triangle. There has to be a 90-degree angle, and we have to be able to identify our hypotenuse. If we don't have what I call the loop of information, like what we have for sine law, then our only other option, if we can't do SOHCAHTOA, is to use cosine law. So again, sine law is if you have an angle and the opposite side known to you, those values are given. That would be sine law. If you don't have that, it's going to be cosine law. Again, just to refresh your memory, angles and opposite sides have the same letter, angles being capital letters and sides being lowercase letters. So you can see in this formula, it is set up for A, but we can always rearrange the formula or substitute it for different letters. A squared equals B squared plus C squared minus 2 times B times C times cosine of A. You'll see here that the side you're looking for, you need to know the opposite angle and the two other sides. So if I was going to use this triangle as an example and I was solving for A, I would need to know angle A, I would need to know side B, and I would need to know side C. So in this scenario, I have all of my information kind of like gathered around one angle. So you have a side, an angle, and a side, and you'd be solving for this side length. Notice this would be missing, but I would have angle A, I would have side C, but not angle C. I would have side B, but not angle B, so no loop of information. If you're solving for an angle, I'm giving you the rearranged formula. It is exactly the same thing. I've just rearranged for A, or cosine of A. In this scenario, you actually need to know side A, you need to know side B, and you need to know side C. So you need to know all three sides. So you wouldn't know any angles, and again, you would have no loop of information. So basically, lack of loop of information would be then check to see if you could do cosine law. So let's see how this works. Solving for side A. So A squared equals B squared plus C squared minus 2BC times cosine of A. Okay, B squared is 7 squared. C is 5 times 2, or sorry, minus 2, and then times B, which is 7, times C, which is 5, times cosine of A, and A is 45 degrees. Grab your calculator. And actually, you can probably plug this in one step, but again, you're gonna have to be comfortable with your calculator and see brackets, or do you need to do the front part of the formula separate from the back part of the formula? You're gonna have to play around with your formula to figure out exactly what that's gonna look like, or with your calculator. I get 24.5, but that's equal to A squared. So I am gonna just square root my answer here. I will use my answer button. You can retype that number in, the 24.5, the decimal, or just hit square root of your answer. I get 4.95002557. You could also round that to 5. I'm just going to leave that there for now. Centimeters, and there is side A. Here's another scenario. I want you to pause this video, and on your worksheet or on your notebook, go ahead and try to solve for A. And once you have that, then go ahead and play the video and see if you got the same answer as what I did. So hopefully you got 35.6 meters. I just plugged in B is 40, C is 32, and angle A is 58 degrees. I initially got 1,267.4, and the square root of that is 35.6. One thing I should have mentioned in this previous question is you'll notice there is no loop of information. I have angle A, but not side A. I have side C, but not angle C. I have side B, but not angle B. And again here, no known side and matching angles. This indicates it's cosine law. So side length, just plug it in, grab calculator, isolate for your variable. Here I'm looking for angle A. So you're gonna grab the rearranged formula. The only difficult thing about this formula is you need to really make sure that your variables are matching with what you're solving for. So if I'm solving for angle A, I have to start with side A, and then you can see B and C are the two that get repeated in my formula. So just be careful with where you plug your numbers because the angle and the opposite side have a relationship. Big angles, big sides across from them, small angles, small sides across from them. So you have to use the appropriate side lengths. A in this case is 5.9, B is 6.2, C is 2.3. And then in the bottom, I do not repeat the A, the 5.9, just the 6.2 and the 2.3. That negative is part of my formula, so be very careful with negative signs. I'm gonna use my fraction button, but you can feel free to view the top. I simplify the top, simplify the bottom, and then divide, or however is easiest with your calculator. So I'm getting, I actually got a fraction, so I hit my my decimal button. I got 0.31276, so on and so forth. Just like in SOHCAHTOA and Cosine Law, if you're solving for an angle, you will need to isolate for your variable. So in cosine law, I want you to do cosine -1 of your answer so that you don't have to enter that decimal in again and possibly make an error in your calculation. So second function cosine of your answer, and that becomes 71.77. So I'll round this to a whole number. So 72 degrees for angle A. Again, if you're getting a weird number, check to make sure you're in decimals. Check to make sure you do the -1 and you hit the cosine button. Hopefully you get the 71.77 like I did and round to 72. Here's another question. You're going to solve for angle A. So again, I want you to try this question. Go ahead and pause your video. And once you have the answer, go ahead and check to see if we get the same thing. So hopefully you got 43 degrees for angle A. So with your questions today, just really carefully read if you're solving for a side or whether you're solving for an angle, use the appropriate formula. I would really encourage you to make sure that you're working carefully, you're writing down your formula with the numbers plugged in, and always check your answer there at the end.